We're going to begin by singing together, and the words are up there on the screen. So let's sing. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. So what just happened? Someone came out at a TEDx and asked you to sing. So maybe you set up a little straighter, you breathed a little deeper. Your mind might have reminded you of holidays spent with friends and family. Possibly you smiled, and maybe there was a connection in the room with these memories, or just because of how awkward it was in this situation. So you just experienced something that researchers are just beginning to understand. You were rewired. And that simple experience may hold the key to healthy aging. I began to learn about this 49 years ago, when at the age of 16, I led my first choir. But I went much deeper during college. You see, I volunteered on Sunday afternoons at a local nursing home, and I would spend time talking to and singing with the residents there. But my favorite resident was Virginia. She was bedridden. She couldn't speak. She couldn't tell me about her life experiences or her family or even about her chronic illnesses. But I would sit at the side of her bed and hold her hand and sing old hymns. And something remarkable happened. Virginia began to sing. She would sing not only the notes, but the words. And for that period of time, she was not defined by her illness or her inability or her lack of speech. Virginia was rewired. And that experience with her taught me something that shaped the rest of my career. You see, music isn't just for entertainment. It's something far deeper. And so now that I have spent multiple decades teaching multi-generational choirs, and I am a senior adult, I want to lean in to how choral singing can particularly help senior adults as we are aging. Imagine coming into a room and the senior adults are entering choir rehearsal. They might have the weight of the world on their shoulders. They've had to repurpose their life through retirement. They have probably lost loved ones. They are dealing, many of them, with chronic illnesses and loneliness. And then within 30 minutes, something happens in the room. They're sitting up straight, they're breathing deeply, their minds are engaged, and they're connecting and bonding and building trust with those in the room, and some are even discovering hope. So let's think about why this choral singing is so good. So the first thing I want to talk about is the breathing with singers. Researchers believe that the deep breathing that we do is very similar to relaxation techniques, where your body is calmed and relaxed and soothed. So I want us to do a relaxation exercise. We're going to sit up a little straight. We're going to breathe in, hold the air. Well, y'all are doing great already. And then you're going to hiss it out for as long as you can with a controlled hiss. Here we go. Breathing in. Yeah, y'all beat me. Some of y'all beat me. That's great. Doesn't your body feel very grounded? Let's try it one more time. Here we go. Breathe in. That feels good. Now let's think about what happens in the mind. Researchers say that as we are singing, the brain is releasing those feel-good chemicals like serotonin that really engage us and perk us up. But also think about what the brain has to process with one note. What is the note? Is it tuned? How do you approach it? How do you leave it? What is the dynamic level? What is the blend? What is the word? And you have to also look at the conductor. Those are amazing biological benefits. But I believe that one of the strongest benefits of choral singing is the social engagement. And my favorite example of that is Linda. She was 75 years ago, and 75 years old, and about 30 years ago, she was in my senior adult choir. She had a beautiful voice that was incredibly low. She sang baritone in the senior adult choir. I was working on the Easter production for the church, and it was a big multi-generational production, and I had a quartet without a baritone. So I went to Linda, and I said, would you mind learning the baritone part, putting on the men's costume and a beard, and singing in the men's quartet? Well, she was a trooper, and she did an amazing job. She put on that costume and learned the men's part, and everything was great until intermission came, and she followed the quartet off the stage and into the men's restroom. Well, we rescued her within seconds, but it was amazing to watch how everyone just kind of enveloped her. And this senior adult that could have been at home sitting on the sidelines watching life go by was just surrounded and connected, not just with senior adults, not just with her quartet, but she was a celebrity with the whole cast, the church, and the community. She belonged, and belonging is so important. That's why I want us to look at choral singing as something far more important than just entertainment. And it's not just an extracurricular activity. And I'm very concerned about the decline that we see in choral singing in the United States. There are fewer adults singing in choirs, there's fewer communities with adult choirs, and even a decline in the number of churches that offer adult choirs. At a time when we need connection the most, it's very difficult to find. And once again, we need to see choral singing as something more than an extracurricular activity. We need to see it as a powerful tool for healthy aging. Not because it answers every question, not because it's going to replace medicine, but because it gives us something far more deeper. It gives us belonging and community. That's why I have a Rewired challenge. So if you are a senior adult here in the room today, please join a choir. If you are an adult child, please encourage your parents to join a choir. If you are a community leader, please support the musical arts. And if you are a choir director, please know that what you do goes far deeper than just learning notes. The future of healthy aging will require innovation, but sometimes the most powerful solutions have been with us all along. Sometimes they're not new. A song, a breath, a voice, a choir. And perhaps the next great intervention in public health will be 3 simple words. Let's sing together. Thank you.